woman. So apparently, initially, he knew they were transgender. That's not even half of it. The woman groped him, of course. Basket was obviously powered and sex crazed. Oh, against the sex crazed ladies who couldn't stop themselves from touching his man parts.
My God.
But he says he didn't, quote unquote, engage. He just stood there paralyzed with fear. Quote, it was like a bank robbery. You never know when you'll freeze. I don't know if it was a couple of seconds or 15 seconds because all I was saying was, quote, get out, get out, get out, end quote. So ridiculous, dude. He was being forcibly touched by transgenders, and he froze.
Right. Because, see, now when I saw it on the show, it was just one chick. That's why when you start talking about a second one, that's when I'm like, hold on now. The plot thickens.
Yeah, exactly. It's so weird. It's such weird. Yeah, dude. His wife is on the show crying. Yeah, she's crying. I can't do this. I can't do this. Hey. Yeah, it's not crack, dude. like your man on that Dave Chappelle movie. You ever suck D for crack? I didn't think so. Anyway, we got to get out of here, man. The Sports Kings Live. I'm Big Mike. He's Rob Calloway. Spreaker.com is where we're being heard, and the Spreaker app. Also, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr. We're at Sports Kings Live. We'll get back, and we'll talk about we'll give you the last installment of the SEC preview, the teams that are actually worth paying attention to next season.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Big Mike.
Yep, and this is RC, Rob Calloway.
First of all, we'd like to thank everybody for being down with the Kings and for supporting Sports Kings Live.
Your listens, downloads, likes, and follows have allowed this show to grow by leaps and bounds in just a few months.
Now, if you have a product or a business and you'd like to promote it on this show,
it's simple. Just email us at sportskingslive@gmail.com. And once again, thank you for being down with the Kings.
I was trying to get it I live.
Hey.
I want them dead presidents.
Mm-hmm. Yup. Get. I don't think. I don't get. Big Mike, Rob Calloway here with you, the Sports Kings. This is Sports Kings Live. I remember to take it off mute this time, Rob. You're being heard via Spreaker.com and the Spreaker app. Also, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Catch us there as well as Tumblr. You guys can also email the show, sportskingslive@gmail.com. Yeah, I'm all about the music now, dude. Yeah, that was a terrible mistake on my part, playing instrumentals. That was way whacker than this. Yeah, and all ratchet music, too. Might do some old school stuff for Thursday. Throwback Thursday is what they call it. That's what the kids call it. Hashtag. All right, moving right along here. We got about 26 minutes left in the show. And for the first 3 days of the week so far, we've gone over we've kind of previewed the SEC. And, what you guys can expect to see this year in college football from an SEC perspective. I think next week what we'll go to the Big Ten, then the Pac-12, then the ACC, and so forth and so on. First and foremost, let me give you guys my thing will scroll here, the standings as far as the SEC is concerned, because there are quite a few teams actually that are in the top 25, well, the preseason top 25. As much stock as you want to put into that, go right ahead. But Alabama and Auburn, of course. Then you've got Mississippi State, Tennessee, Georgia is in there. You might be surprised that teams like South Carolina, they're at 37 ranked. They're out of the top 25. Missouri is 27, so obviously out of the top 25. Florida, these perennial competitors within the SEC, out of the top 25 preseason wise, Florida's at 26. Who else is out of the top 25? Let's go down to the West here. Everybody. Almost everybody in the West, Rob. Mississippi State is 21. A&M is 20. Arkansas. You know what? I didn't think Arkansas was in the top 25, so I did not profile them. I can do that on the fly, though. I can do it on the fly. Ole Miss is 11. Auburn is 4. And Alabama 2. Every team, ladies and gentlemen, in the SEC West is in the – damn it, they're in the top 20. Not the top 25. Oh, yeah, because Mississippi State's 21. So, yeah, top 25. So I mentioned earlier that the three teams were going to be Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss. So we'll start with the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, if you guys watched college football last year, Tennessee wasn't a really, really good watch. But what you did see out of them is a team that played, I think at one point they played something like 19 freshmen. Or of either the redshirt variety or true freshmen. So they had a lot of youth, and they competed. Rob will tell you, as being a Georgia fan, they competed against Georgia very well. They almost beat Georgia. Didn't they go into like the fourth quarter against Georgia? Mm-hmm. And then something crazy happened at the end?
Always.
If I don't remember? Yeah. So this is a team that something just happened here. It's a team that if you're...
I'm trying to think what did happen. Because it was something. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, I remember not really watching the game, but like flipping back and forth to it because it was supposed to be a game that Georgia just took care of business. And then every time you saw the ticker, it was like, wait a minute, it's still 7-6 or whatever it was, and it's the fourth quarter now. And then I started looking at it then, but I don't remember the game itself. I just remember it was a lot closer than it may supposed to have been, if I said that grammatically correctly. Anyway, Butch Jones is their coach. Butch Jones of Miami Hurricanes fame, of University of North Carolina fame. Seems like, problems follow him wherever he goes. But he can coach football. He can coach college kids. He has a team that is on the proverbial rise. 2 years ago, they were 5-7. This past year, 7-6. So they're on a bit of an uptick. And like I mentioned earlier, they started so many youngsters last year. This team has 17 returning starters. There's only 22 people that can play on both sides of the ball. They got 17 returning starters. So this is a team that, again, they are picked. They're predicted to finish second in the East. So that's a mighty. I mean, we're still talking about the SEC East, but still, that's a mighty jump from a team that has been like Tennessee's been down for a while, man. Since we can all remember the days of T. Martin and Peyton Manning and Peerless Price and Jamal Lewis and Travis Henry and Al Wilson, like the oldest young person ever in America. Al Wilson always looked like a granddad. He was like 21 years old. Yeah. So they got Joshua Dobbs. He'll be starting behind center next year. He's an Atlanta product, as a matter of fact. He's a Metro Atlanta product. And he has an outside chance of finding himself in a Heisman Trophy conversation. So there's that. The big deal with him, well, not just him, but the team in general, is that he's the only quarterback on the team that's taken a collegiate snap at all. So the team is going to pretty much go offensively the way he goes. As far as what's going to be lined up behind him, they have three scholarship running backs on the roster. A kid named Jalen Hurd. You may have seen him play a little bit last year. I think he ended up with something like 900 yards total last year. And he'll be splitting time with a kid named Alvin Kamara. He actually started out at Alabama, so he's a guy who transferred from Alabama. They're going to kind of give you that, if dare I say, that thunder lightning type ordeal, where the Hurd kid will be the more of the thumper, and then you have the Kamara kid will be. That's funny. His name is Kamara, and he's a speed guy. Didn't even think about that when I was reading it earlier. Then we find our way to the receiving core. Last year, Marquez North, his season ended with a shoulder injury, so he'll be back this year and healthy. They've got another kid named Pig Howard. He actually was the leading receiver on the team last year with only 618 yards. That's funny, right? There's a kid named, that's got to be a nickname. Like, no
sport.
as little faith as I have in black moms and naming kids, no one named their kid Pig.
No, that's a nickname. That's a nickname.
Yeah, and I don't have
Yeah,
his
and
real
usually,
name.
like back in the day, and you probably asked your dad. I'm sure your dad probably knows somebody, knows a brother, two brothers or whatnot that go by this. But back in the day, like nicknames for like twin boys, that's what they used to call like Pig and N-word. Like I had a cousin.
What?
Cousins,
Whoa, back up. Pig and N-word?
One name was Pig. The other name was Ninja. Yeah, that's what they call it, Pig and Ninja.
That's not even a nickname. That's a descriptive term.
So then, dude, years later, me and one of my best friends, I started hanging out, with his family or whatnot, and his daddy was like, "Oh man, I got to go see Pig and Ninja," and I was like, "Hold on, that's my cousin name, but both of them was dead." He was like, "Oh, we got our own Pig and Ninja." He was like, "Every family got a Pig and Ninja." I was like,
not every. Someone in your family lied to you. Yeah, every family does not have a Pig and Ninja. That's ridiculous. Where was I on this list of things? Oh, okay. Their offensive line will be a concern for them next year. They gave up more yards due to sacks, 305, than any other team in the FBS. That's going to be a problem, especially when you only have essentially one quarterback. You know what I mean? If your offensive line is that leaky, there could be problems there. Hopefully they'll be able to run the ball to kind of negate some of that pressure that's going to be on him, because obviously there will be pressure on him if they gave up 305 sack yards last year. Now, to the defensive side of the ball, the defensive line is going to consist of a young man named Derek Barnett. By the way, Coop is informing us that Kamara, the kid I mentioned earlier, he is a Norcross alum, is the way he put it. Norcross, Georgia, being here in Georgia for our people.
We only shout out people from DeKalb County, Coop. Sorry about that.
That's not a policy. That's a Rob Calloway policy. That's him, And like he'll go way back to the Hassan Graham, like he'll do all that craziness.
Hey, that boy Hassan Graham caught that opening kickoff for the 96
See,
Super Bowl.
why did I do that?
97 Super Bowl.
God, why did I do
Patriots
that?
versus Green Bay Packers.
Why did I do that?
Hassan Graham from the University of Southwest DeKalb with
Jesus
Kelly
Christ.
Chapel and the University of Georgia. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Meanwhile,
You set it up.
I know.
I had to do it.
God, I don't know why I did that. I immediately kicked myself after I said it. They got two dudes, Derek Barnett and Kurt McGitt. Them dudes combined for 21 sacks last season. So they do have the ability, although the ability to protect the passer on one side of the ball may not be there all the way, they do definitely have the ability to get after the passer on the other side of the ball. A.J. Johnson played middle linebacker for them last year. He's no longer with them, so they're going to have to try to fill that void. The outside linebackers, Jalen Reeves-Maben, he had a pretty good year last year as a sophomore, one of those young kids I was talking about who got a lot of playing time for them last year, led the team in tackles. He'll be back. They have their situation in the defensive backfield. The corners, Cameron Sutton, they're actually looking for him to be at the top of the list as far as all SEC performers at the cornerback spot. And then they have a junior college transfer named Justin Martin, who is a long, athletic kid who they're looking to come right in and play immediately. Their safeties, Brian Randolph, big, thumper, and they've also got Rashawn Golden. That, my friends, is your. I thought they had a prediction for them as far as record goes. They do predict them to finish second in the SEC East. Now, the Ole Miss Rebels, the University of Mississippi, if you'd like to be more.
Oh, they got to change that. They can't be the Rebels no more. They got to change that.
Well, they actually changed it. I mean, they can be the Rebels,
crazy.
but they took the flag off the helmets and stuff. They changed that part about it a couple years ago.
They need to get rid of the colonel and that is racist.
You're an ignorant. Anyway, Hugh Freeze is their head football coach. They're finished third in the SEC West this year. They're starting the season off at number 11 in the country. I know everyone knows the big thing about them, but Robert Kimdichie a couple of years ago, the big recruit out of what school did that boy go to? The red, with the green. Yeah, Grayson, the Rams. Grayson. Yes. right here in Metro Atlanta, Georgia, for the people who aren't from here. Bo Wallace gone. You know, their